In India has responded to President Trump's crackdown on student visas. Responding to a CNBC-TV18 query, the embassy spokesperson has said that visa applicants may continue to submit their applications and scheduling of non-immigrant visa interview appointments is dynamic. Parikshit standing by now with more details. So Parikshit, take us through what the embassy is saying and what all of this really means now for students specifically who are waiting for appointments.
A move that has sparked worries among students who are planning to apply to universities in the United States. The Trump administration has ordered embassies to stop scheduling appointments for student visas as it prepares to expand social media vetting of applicants. According to reports, an internal memo sent to all diplomatic missions, signed by the Secretary of State Marco Rubio, says that there will be a pause on all appointments until further guidance is issued. The memo says that social media vetting would have to be stepped up for student and foreign exchange visas. CNBC-TV18 reached out to the US Embassy in Delhi to confirm this and also for a response. The spokesperson said that the State Department does not comment on internal communications, but all visa applicants may continue submitting applications. When it comes to scheduling of non-immigrant visa interview appointments, the US Embassy in Delhi said that the situation is dynamic and depends on the time required for consular officers to adjudicate cases before them for full compliance with the US law. Consular officials will be working to ensure that applicants don't pose a risk to the United States. Also, consular officials constantly adjust schedules to make sure they have sufficient time to vet cases before them. We also learned that US State Department has been asking visa applicants to provide their social media handles on both immigrant and non-immigrant visa application forms since 2019. Now, just for context, in 2023-24, the total number of international students in the US increased by 7% to a record high of 1.1 million students. Indian students accounted for 29% of total enrollments and were the largest international student community. Their numbers increased by 23% over 2023. International students accounted for 5.9% of the total US higher education population of 18 million students. According to a report by the Association of International Educators, international students at colleges and universities in the US contributed $44 billion to the US economy during the 2023-2024 academic year and supported more than 378,000 jobs.
Parikshit, many thanks for joining us. Let's now delve deeper into the issue. How will the Trump administration's crackdown impact prospects of Indian students eyeing a seat in American universities? Remember, as Parikshit was pointing out, India accounts for 30% of the international student community in the US. Shilpa joins us now to bring us a quick pulse check. Shilpa, you've been talking to experts. What are they telling you?
Well, you know, the pause on the new student visa interviews has caused somewhat of a panic amongst prospective students in India who have already secured admissions and are set to start college in August to September. Now, most of these students would have already finished their admission process, their loan documentation, and just have the student visa application process left. Now, we spoke to some education consultants, some students and parents, and the sense that we're getting is that students and parents are worried that not getting the student visa at this juncture would mean that they will have to defer their admission by a semester or even take a gap year. Because, you know, at this point in time, it is also too late to consider other options in other countries unless you already have backups. Because in other countries, most deadlines for college applications, especially in Europe, etc., have already passed. Now, all overseas education consultants are also now advising all prospective students to keep their social media profiles, what they call, clean, and to avoid any political commentary, to avoid any issues with the visa going forward. Now, even students who are already studying in the US are also anxious and fearful of any behavior actions that could be deemed as potentially violating visa norms and also about their careers after finishing college amongst this current situation. And as for students who are still in their planning stages, consultants say that many parents are now inquiring about colleges in other countries like UK and Australia, citing lower risk and better stability. Now, why this is significant is, like my colleague pointed out, that Indians at 29.4% account for the highest number of international students, and this is followed by China and Korea. Now, currently, there are about 3.3 lakh Indian students who are studying in the US as well. And this is a number that has been consistently growing over years. And despite uncertainties, US is still the most preferred destination for overseas education. And many consultants say that this uncertainty is largely temporary in nature. Now, my colleague Reema Tendulkar spoke to an educational consultant, Viral Doshi, about this. Listen in.
US colleges depend on international students, both financially and for the well-being of the university. So it has to be sorted out. Not even the embassies know what is going to happen. So it's going to be something that's going to come out from the administration, and it will be a question of time. So be patient, and I'm sure the patient will be rewarded by interviews in the next 2 months. Nothing to worry. This sort of a issue, what they're looking at, of looking at policy on social media, I'm sure will be sorted out. I'm quite confident of that, because as much as we want to go to a good university, they also want good students. And also remember, it's not only impacting us in India, it's impacting all over the world.